Welcome to our deep dive into a pressing environmental issue facing some of the world's most iconic natural wonders. In this video, we explore 25 national parks facing water shortages, highlighting the challenges and impacts of dwindling water resources on these vital ecosystems. From the lush landscapes of the Everglades to the remote wilderness of the Serengeti, we'll uncover how water scarcity threatens biodiversity and park preservation. Join us as we take a closer look at each location, the struggles they face, and the broader implications for wildlife and conservation efforts worldwide. 1. Everglades National Park, Florida, USA. The Everglades, a vast network of wetlands, is facing a dire water crisis. Urban expansion and water diversion projects have significantly reduced the park's freshwater supply. This has led to ecological degradation, threatening the diverse species that call the Everglades home. The park's natural water flow has been altered, disrupting the habitats of alligators, panthers, and other wildlife. Restoration efforts are ongoing, but the balance between urban needs and ecological preservation remains a complex issue. Without adequate water, the Everglades' unique ecosystem faces an uncertain future. 2. Grand Canyon National Park, Arizona, USA. The Grand Canyon, an iconic symbol of natural beauty, is not just about breathtaking views, it's also a battleground for water resources. A critical failure in the main water pipeline, which supplies the South Rim, recently highlighted the park's vulnerability. Hotels and facilities had to close, underscoring the immediate impact of water shortages on tourism. The park's infrastructure, which relies on this aging pipeline, is in need of urgent upgrades. This situation exemplifies the challenges that climate change and outdated systems pose to maintaining essential services. Ensuring a reliable water supply is crucial for both visitors and the park's ecosystems. 3. Lake Mead National Recreation Area, Nevada, Arizona, USA. Lake Mead, a vital water source for millions, has been steadily losing water. Drought and a warming climate have caused water levels to plummet, affecting not only local communities but also park operations. The shrinking lake is a stark reminder of the broader environmental challenges we face. Recreational activities and wildlife habitats are being compromised as water levels continue to drop. Efforts to manage water resources more sustainably are underway, but the balance between human consumption and ecological preservation is delicate. Lake Mead's plight serves as a cautionary tale for water resource management. 4. Big Bend National Park, Texas, USA. Big Bend, known for its rugged beauty, is facing a significant infrastructure challenge. The Chizos Basin is scheduled for a 2-year closure to replace old water lines dating back to the 1950s. This necessary work highlights the park's struggle with outdated systems that are no longer adequate for current demands. The closure will impact tourism and local economies, emphasizing the interconnectedness of infrastructure and environmental health. As climate change exacerbates water scarcity, modernizing infrastructure will be key to ensuring the park's sustainability. The situation at Big Bend reflects the broader need for investment in national park infrastructure. 5. Keoladeo National Park, Rajasthan, India. Keoladeo, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is renowned for its rich birdlife. However, water shortages, particularly during droughts, have severely impacted the park. Migratory bird arrivals have dwindled as water levels decline, affecting the park's biodiversity. The park's status as a Ramsar wetland site underscores the global significance of its ecosystems. Efforts to secure alternative water sources are critical to preserving its ecological integrity. The challenges at Keoladeo highlight the vulnerability of wetland ecosystems to climate change and human activities. Ensuring adequate water supply is essential for maintaining the park's biodiversity. 6. Chitwan National Park, Nepal. Chitwan, a haven for wildlife, is grappling with drying water sources. Drought conditions have exacerbated the situation, affecting both wildlife and local communities. As water becomes scarce, human-wildlife conflict has increased, with animals venturing into settlements in search of water. The park's management is faced with the dual challenge of conserving wildlife and ensuring community safety. This situation highlights the interconnectedness of environmental and social issues in conservation areas. Innovative water management solutions are needed to address these challenges and foster coexistence between humans and wildlife. 7. Bardia National Park, Nepal. Bardia, another of Nepal's wildlife treasures, is experiencing similar water scarcity issues. The drying up of water sources has driven wildlife into human settlements, increasing the risk of conflict. This situation poses significant challenges for both conservation efforts and community safety. The park authorities are tasked with finding sustainable solutions to mitigate these conflicts. The experiences at Bardia underscore the importance of integrated water management strategies that consider both ecological and human needs. Effective management is crucial for maintaining the delicate balance between conservation and human interests. 8. Bank National Park, Nepal. In Bank, water scarcity is a growing concern, with animals increasingly encroaching on human habitats. This has led to heightened human-wildlife conflict, challenging the park's management and local communities. The park's ecosystems are under stress as water sources dwindle, threatening biodiversity. Addressing these issues requires innovative approaches to water management and conflict resolution. Collaborative efforts between park authorities and local communities are essential for sustainable conservation. The situation at Bank highlights the broader challenges of managing natural resources in a changing climate. 9. Chobe National Park, Botswana. Chobe, famous for its elephant herds, is being affected by reduced water levels in the Chobe River. Drought conditions have impacted both wildlife and tourism, a vital part of the local economy. The park's biodiversity is at risk as water scarcity limits the availability of essential resources. Conservation efforts are focused on finding sustainable water management solutions to support both wildlife and tourism. The challenges at Chobe illustrate the broader impacts of climate change on natural ecosystems and human livelihoods. Effective adaptation strategies are needed to safeguard the park's future. 10. Kruger National Park, South Africa. Kruger, one of Africa's largest game reserves, is facing prolonged droughts that have led to water shortages. Wildlife is being affected, with increased competition for dwindling resources. The park's management is tasked with balancing conservation efforts with the needs of local communities. Human-wildlife conflict has become more prevalent as animals venture into populated areas in search of water. The situation at Kruger highlights the complex interplay between climate change, conservation, and human interests. Innovative water conservation strategies are essential to ensure the park's sustainability. 11. Etosha National Park, Namibia. In Etosha, drought has caused waterholes to dry up, intensifying competition among wildlife. This has led to increased human-wildlife conflict as animals search for alternative water sources. The park's management is working to address these challenges through targeted conservation efforts. Ensuring adequate water supply is crucial for maintaining the park's biodiversity and supporting local communities. The experiences at Etosha underscore the importance of proactive water management in conservation areas. Collaborative efforts are needed to find sustainable solutions to these pressing issues. 12. Serengeti National Park, Tanzania. The Serengeti, known for its spectacular wildlife migration, is experiencing water shortages due to variability in rainfall. This has affected the health of wildlife and the timing of the annual migration. The park's ecosystems are under stress as water becomes scarcer, threatening biodiversity. Conservation efforts are focused on adapting management strategies to cope with changing climatic conditions. The challenges at Serengeti highlight the broader impacts of climate change on ecosystems and wildlife. Ensuring adequate water supply is essential for preserving the park's ecological integrity. 13. Yellowstone National Park, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, USA. Yellowstone, the world's first national park, is not immune to water scarcity. Reduced snowpack and drought conditions have led to lower water levels in rivers and lakes. This has affected aquatic ecosystems in the park's iconic geysers and hot springs. The park's management is focused on implementing sustainable water management practices to mitigate these impacts. The challenges at Yellowstone underscore the importance of proactive adaptation strategies in the face of climate change. Ensuring adequate water supply is crucial for preserving the park's natural beauty and ecological health. 14. Yosemite National Park, California, USA. Yosemite, with its iconic waterfalls and granite cliffs, is facing reduced water flow due to drought conditions. This has affected the park's natural beauty and the health of its ecosystems. The park's management is working to implement sustainable water management strategies to address these challenges. The situation at Yosemite illustrates the broader impacts of climate change on natural landscapes and ecosystems. Ensuring adequate water supply is essential for preserving the park's unique features and biodiversity. 15. Banff National Park, Alberta, Canada. Banff, known for its stunning mountain landscapes, is experiencing lower water levels in rivers and lakes due to reduced snowpack and warmer temperatures. This has affected aquatic ecosystems in the park's iconic icefields. The park's management is focused on implementing sustainable water management practices to mitigate these impacts. The challenges at Banff highlight the broader impacts of climate change on natural landscapes and ecosystems. Ensuring adequate water supply is crucial for preserving the park's natural beauty and ecological health. 16. Namib Naukluft National Park, Namibia. Namib Naukluft, home to some of the world's oldest and tallest dunes, is experiencing reduced water availability due to drought. This has affected both wildlife and vegetation, threatening the park's unique ecosystems. The park's management is focused on finding sustainable water management solutions to support both biodiversity and local communities. The challenges at Namib Naukluft illustrate the broader impacts of climate change on natural landscapes and ecosystems. Effective adaptation strategies are needed to ensure the park's sustainability. 17. Kakadu National Park, Australia. Kakadu, renowned for its rich biodiversity, is facing water shortages due to variability in rainfall. This has affected the park's wetlands and the health of its ecosystems. The park's management is working to implement sustainable water management practices to address these challenges. The situation at Kakadu highlights the broader impacts of climate change on natural landscapes and ecosystems. Ensuring adequate water supply is essential for preserving the park's unique features and biodiversity. 18. Galapagos National Park, Ecuador. The Galapagos Islands, famous for their unique wildlife, are facing drought conditions due to El Niño events. This has affected freshwater availability and the health of the park's ecosystems. The park's management is focused on finding sustainable water management solutions to support both wildlife and local communities. The challenges at Galapagos illustrate the broader impacts of climate change on isolated ecosystems. Innovative adaptation strategies are needed to ensure the park's sustainability. 19. Bwindi Impenetrable National Park, Uganda. Bwindi, home to half of the world's mountain gorillas, is facing water shortages due to reduced rainfall. This has affected both wildlife and local communities, threatening the park's biodiversity. The park's management is focused on finding sustainable water management solutions to support both conservation and community needs. The challenges at Bwindi highlight the broader impacts of climate change on natural ecosystems and human livelihoods. Collaborative efforts are needed to ensure the park's sustainability. 20. Kilimanjaro National Park, Tanzania. Kilimanjaro, with its iconic snow-capped peak, is facing water shortages due to glacial melt and reduced rainfall. This has affected local communities and the park's ecosystems. The park's management is focused on finding sustainable water management solutions to support both biodiversity and human needs. The challenges at Kilimanjaro illustrate the broader impacts of climate change on natural landscapes and ecosystems. Effective adaptation strategies are needed to ensure the park's sustainability. 21. Mount Kenya National Park, Kenya. Mount Kenya, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is experiencing water shortages due to reduced rainfall. This has affected both wildlife and local communities, threatening the park's biodiversity. The park's management is focused on finding sustainable water management solutions to support both conservation and community needs. The challenges at Mount Kenya highlight the broader impacts of climate change on natural ecosystems and human livelihoods. Collaborative efforts are needed to ensure the park's sustainability. 22. Lake Nakuru National Park, Kenya. Lake Nakuru, famous for its flamingo populations, is facing water shortages due to variability in rainfall. This has affected the park's wetlands and the health of its ecosystems. The park's management is working to implement sustainable water management practices to address these challenges. The situation at Lake Nakuru highlights the broader impacts of climate change on natural landscapes and ecosystems. Ensuring adequate water supply is essential for preserving the park's unique features and biodiversity. 23. Chilika Lake, Odisha, India. Chilika Lake, Asia's largest brackish water lagoon, is facing water shortages due to reduced freshwater inflow. This has affected the lake's biodiversity and local livelihoods. The park's management is focused on finding sustainable water management solutions to support both conservation and community needs. The challenges at Chilika Lake illustrate the broader impacts of climate change on natural ecosystems and human livelihoods. Collaborative efforts are needed to ensure the park's sustainability. 24. Sundarbans Reserve Forest, India, Bangladesh. The Sundarbans, the world's largest mangrove forest, is experiencing increased salinity due to reduced freshwater inflow. This has affected the mangrove ecosystem and the wildlife that depends on it. The park's management is focused on finding sustainable water management solutions to support both biodiversity and local communities. The challenges at Sundarbans highlight the broader impacts of climate change on coastal ecosystems. Effective adaptation strategies are needed to ensure the park's sustainability.